No celebration is complete without food, and especially good food. For me, food is always the best way to celebrate. I can't imagine celebrating a birthday, a homecoming, or even the small things without great food and great friends. There are so many ways to celebrate and so many foods to celebrate with. Today, I've chosen some of my favorites. Eating Paneer Makhani with its rich and creamy sauce is reason enough to celebrate. This dish is not like cooking, so it's perfect to pair with good bread and good friends. Lemon rice pilaf is simple, it's delicious, and it's fail-safe. It elevates your typical rice with the flavor of lemon and is a perfect complement to a rich main dish. Spiced apple cake is a fantastic end to any festive meal. Without being too sweet, this moist, baked delight satisfies with warming spices of cinnamon and cloves and is great with your favorite chai. Next to the company, food is the greatest thing about celebrating. Try my menu at your next festivities and see a new way of celebrating with food. When you think of the perfect celebration food, you think of like rich, decadent, creamy type dishes, and I got the perfect one, Paneer Makhani. It has decadence written all over it. In the saucepan, I'm gonna put in a couple of tablespoons of canola oil. This is set over medium heat. To that, I will add 1 diced onion. You can fine chop it, rough chop it, whatever, we're gonna blend it up anyways, so it doesn't matter. I got 2 or 3 tomatoes, depending on the size, that have been chopped up as well. Those will go inside. Now my secret ingredient. We got some cashew butter. This adds a really nice texture, underlying nuttiness, and some really good fat to this dish. So I'll add this in. It's about a half a cup. Let this go. Now we got to bring some heat. I got some Kashmiri chilies that I've crushed up. So let's let this cook for a couple of minutes. That cashew butter smells amazing. Now let's add a little bit of water, about 1.5 cups. Dump this inside. Beautiful. So this is all nicely combined. Now we gotta let it cook down 10 to 15 minutes until it's nice and thick. So now let's get started on the second layer of these flavors, which is gonna be this incredible spiced sauce. So now we add some butter. I've got about 4 tablespoons here. Let's let that kind of get melted up. What goes better with melted butter than some minced up garlic? So you can add as much or as little as you want. I got a few cloves right there. A few more steps forward and make this delicious Paneer Makhani. So now let's toast up some ground cinnamon. I got some cloves. This is also ground. Some green cardamom pods. And a couple of bay leaves. Saute this around. Oh, you get those spices right away. Now let's add in some fenugreek leaves. Here I'm using dried, which is great for this kind of application. A couple tablespoons. And then I got some garam masala. You can use any blend you want. And if you don't want to make your own, you can definitely find a whole bunch of really good quality store-bought ones. Let's give this a nice mix up. Now you can see that the butter foam is kind of dissipating, and that's kind of telling you inherently it's time to move on to the next step before your butter starts to burn. So here I have some crushed tomatoes, 1/2 cup, and this will add some really good body to the sauce outside of what your fresh tomatoes would have brought to the party. Mix all this up. So while this cooks, here in the blender we have our mixture that we've already cooked down for about 10 to 15 minutes, and we're going to puree it smooth. Let's go back over here, and you can see that the tomatoes have started to kind of stick to our pan. Now we'll add a bit of water, add it to the bottom, and all you want to do is just pick up all these stuck bits. I think I had about half a cup. Let's add a bit of salt. Now you can be a bit heavy on the salt because remember we did not season the original base mixture at all. Nice. Now to this, let's add our blended puree. So you got cashew butter, cooked down tomatoes, onions, Kashmiri chilies. Beautiful. So while this is kind of coming together, let's add in some sweetness with brown sugar. And I got some yogurt. Half a cup, full fat yogurt. So you can see the decadence just keeps adding up. But the end result is rich, creamy. It cannot be beat. Now to this rich and creamy gravy, let's add some paneer. It's a couple of cups. And if you don't want to do paneer, you could add vegetables, you could add chicken, whatever your heart desires. While that's warming, we'll add another layer of decadence, some heavy cream. Right in. And one more layer of spice, some fresh fenugreek leaves right at the end. Mix this up. So paneer is up to temperature, and it looks like it's done, but really, there's only one way to find out. Quality control. Oh baby, nuttiness from that cashew butter, loads of flavor. You get like heavy cream, creaminess, tanginess from the yogurt, all those delicious spices. This is decadence at its finest, perfect for a celebratory occasion. Let's cut this heat. And what's kind of sweet about this is that even though it's very celebratory, it's incredibly comforting. And it's the best of both worlds. So let's garnish with a couple cilantro leaves. My rich and decadent Paneer Makhani, no celebration would be complete without it. Rice can be really boring with just salt and pepper, so today we're gonna make an incredible lemon rice pilaf. Lemon juice, lemon zest, and incredible coriander seeds. Here I have a saucepan set over medium heat. Let's add some canola oil, a couple tablespoons. While that's heating up, let's prep a shallot. Now shallots are kind of like an onion, but they're really nice and sweet, and I love them when making rice dishes. So we'll take the top and tail off, and we're gonna prep it just like we would an onion. So in half, take the outer papery skin off. Finely mince this. Shallots minced. Let's get it into our hot oil. Now we'll start to sweat this down. Give it a quick stir. So while these shallots are cooking down, let's prep up a couple of cloves of garlic and some ginger. So these garlic cloves I'm just gonna mince up. Get your knife going back and forth. Great. Push these off to the side. Now let's get some ginger going. So this ginger I'm just gonna quickly peel up. And I'm also just going to dice this up. I love ginger when you kind of cut it small like this, because as it cooks down, it gets nice and soft and sweet, but you still retain that peppery bite. Let's look at these shallots. So these are looking great. Let's get our garlic and ginger mixture right in. Now let's add in some lemon zest. Grate this lemon. Try not to get too much of the bitter white pith. And now you'll get a nice like fresh burst of lemon flavor that you cannot get from the juice. It's really aromatic. Let's get all of our lemon in. Get this cooking out. So now we're gonna add some coriander seeds. And they'll start toasting up inside of the oil. So I decided to leave the coriander seeds whole because as they kind of cook, they'll start swelling, and then each bite you'll get these bursts of like lemony spice coriander goodness. It's really delicious. Now we'll add in some basmati rice. Now because I started this, like I'm making this rice pilaf style, you don't actually need to rinse the basmati rice, you don't need to do anything. Give it a nice stir and make sure that all the rice gets kind of toasty and coated with that fat that we have inside, which is a really important step. That will kind of ensure that the rice becomes nice and fluffy as it cooks, and you won't get these like clumped rice, which is no fun. So now let's add in some water. I got a couple of cups. So now let's add in some lemon juice. We'll use this whole lemon, just catch all the pips. Let's get our lemon juice right in. Let's give it a nice stir. Now we'll add 1 bay leaf, a couple tablespoons of butter, and this will add some really nice creaminess to the rice. Some salt. Black pepper. Let's give this a stir. I'm gonna allow this rice to come to a boil, put a lid on it, turn it right down to low, and let it cook for 15 to 20 minutes. So it's been about 20 minutes. Let's lift this lid. Oh, look at this rice. Oh yeah, all the water's been absorbed. Really nice and fluffy. You get that smell of lemon right away. This is one of my favorite ways to make rice. Let's lift some of our rice out. Let's garnish with some toasted crushed peanuts. And look at this. My lemon rice pilaf is a nice change from the mundane, and it's definitely a dish worth celebrating. No celebration is complete without some cake, but who wants plain vanilla cake when you can have my delicious spiced apple cake? In this bowl, we're gonna sift some flour. I got 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of fine salt. Now we gotta add some spices. So I got 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and 1 more, 1/4 teaspoon of ground fennel. Let's sift this all. All these small bits just get through, and whatever doesn't go through, now they won't be in your teeth. So now let's move on to the white ingredients. I have 1 cup of granulated white sugar, 1/2 cup of melted coconut oil. Clean that all up. And 1 egg. Crack that. Let's give this a whisk. And you just want to mix it until all the sugar fully incorporates with the coconut oil and the egg. So once you've got that, let's add the dry ingredients to our wet ingredients. Give this a nice mix up. Smells amazing. It's kind of gingerbready with that nutmeg and allspice. Few notes of licorice coming through. What you're looking for is that all the mixture starts coming together. So there we go. Now you can see you have a nice batter. And if it does tend to be a little bit dry on you, you can always add a little bit more coconut oil or some water. So to this, we're gonna add some currants. Here I have some larger currants that I got from my Indian supply store. But if you can't do this, you can use those like raisin, cranberry mixtures, just raisins, chocolate chips, whatever you want. Let's give this a nice mix up. So I have some sliced apples. I have a combination of them. I got some Pink Ladies, Granny Smith, whatever you got going on. You don't want them to be too sweet, kind of more on the tart side. And I'm gonna put in, I don't know, 2/3 of this mixture, and the rest of it we'll use for the top to kind of create a nice design. Now some of your apples break, that's okay, no problem. Give this a nice mix up. Perfect. All right. Here I have an 8-inch greased baking dish. Let's dump our mixture inside. This is when you're going to have to get your hands in. Make sure you get everything out. Now because of the baking soda in the batter, it's going to puff up, and these apples will kind of cook down, get encapsulated, and the ones that we put on the top will just kind of get roasted and caramelized. Those ones are going to be really delicious. It'll be a nice contrast. Pack it right in there. Now we have these other apples here, and let's just lay them on the top. You can do whatever pattern you like, or you don't have to, but it's a celebration, so might as well make it look good. Now these ones I'm just kind of shingling, overlapping each layer, and you get a nice tight pattern. Let's sprinkle some sugar right on the top, and this sugar will help caramelize all these apples, and it'll look really pretty when it comes out. Cool. So let's let this bake inside the oven, 325 degrees, for about 45 to 55 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out nice and clean. While I'm doing that, let me show you how to make an incredibly refreshing lemon spritzer. In a saucepan, add 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, the juice of 1 lemon, the zest of 1 lemon, and half a teaspoon of coriander seeds. Turn the heat up and wait for the sugar to dissolve. Strain the syrup and let cool. In a tall glass, add a 1/4 cup of the lemon syrup, top up with 1 cup of soda water. It's classy, it's refreshing, it's my lemon spritzer. So here's our cooled cake. Looks delicious. To make it even tastier and perfect for a celebration, I got some icing sugar that I've mixed with some cinnamon, and we're just gonna sprinkle some of this on top. Putting it through a sifter so you can get a really nice snow-like effect all over. And there it is, my spiced apple cake, a delicious end to the perfect celebration. I've created a menu that is really delicious, kind of gets you into the kitchen for a bit of time, and you just enjoy celebrating through food. Paneer Makhani, aka butter chicken without the chicken. Really delicious dish, rich, creamy, nutty, amazing. In fact, I think I like it better than butter chicken because I'm a massive paneer fan. Lemon rice pilaf is great for a celebration, A, because it's simple. You can't spend all your day in the kitchen because then you'll never actually get to celebrate. And then number 2, you normally don't think about putting like lemon or citrus flavors with rice, and it works beautifully because the acid of that lemon rice pilaf counterbalances the paneer makhani. Delicious. The spiced apple cake is awesome because you kind of have like these Indian apple pie spices. You got like cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, those like chai vibe, apple pie vibe, so yummy. No celebration would be complete without cake. So we've upped the ante a little bit and done a kind of a classy cake. You don't throw a party for somebody you hate, so treat them like the king or queen they are and cook up this incredible celebration menu.